Hello students of class 12 for Vidyapapan school. Hope you are all doing well. So today in this video we will discuss the movement along the curve for a demand curve. Okay, so let us assume this is a demand curve D and my price was P1. When my price was P1, my quantity was how much? Q1. Okay, now my price have fall and it has become P2. So now when the price have, let me do it with some other pen. Now when my price have fall, okay, let me stretch it once. D. Okay, now when my price have fall, the quantity demanded right now is how much? Q2. Okay, so here we can write that Q2 is greater than Q1 and P2 is less than P1. So when in the demand curve, when the price was P1, I was in this point. Now when the price have fallen, I have shifted in this point. I have moved from this point to this point, right? I have moved. So I have moved from here to here. Now, so we will name this graph according to the quantity. Now as the price have fallen, my quantity demanded has increased. Okay, so we may call it what? We may call it uh, expansion in demand. Okay, we may call it expansion of demand. Okay, or you can call it rise in quantity demanded. So this can be called as expansion in demand or rise in quantity demanded. Okay, this is one. Now why I am saying movement along the curve? Because my demand is still within this curve. It is not shifting out like out of the curve. Okay, it is not going here or somewhere outside the curve. It is within the curve only. It is on the curve only. So that's why we call it movement along the curve. Let us take another example. So suppose my price this, and here we are measuring quantity. So this is the demand curve. So initially my price was P2. At P2 P1, suppose P1. At P1 I was demanding Q1. Now my price have increased and it has become P2. Now when the price is P2, I am demanding Q2 amount of good. So the quantity demanded now has decreased. So previously I was at this point A and now I am this point at B. So it has moved here, right? So as now the quantity Q2 is less than Q1 and P2 is greater than P1. Now I already told you that we name this graph according to the quantity. So here the quantity have decreased, right? Here the quantity have decreased and the point has moved from here to here, right, in the same demand curve. So as for this case we have written expansion in demand. So what should I write here? Obviously the quantity has decreased, so I will write contraction in demand or fall in quantity demanded. Now the questions come, when movement along the curve take place. Okay, I hope this two picture is clear. Now the question come, when movement along the curve take place. Okay, movement along the curve take place when movement let me write it. Movement along the curve. Okay, so movement along the curve take place when there is change in price of commodity, other things remaining same. And what is this other things? What do we mean by this other thing? By other things we are indicating the factors of demand. Okay, so a movement along the curve, either it is it may be expansion or it may be contraction, but when it will take place only when there is a change in the price of the commodity and no change in the factors of demand, or we can say other things remaining same. Okay, so two things for movement along the curve we have to remember, that is when there is a change in price of the commodity, okay, and other things remaining same, that means other factors of demand remaining same. Okay, I think it is clear. So we have two kinds of movement along the curve, one is expansion in demand and other is contraction in demand. Expansion in demand take place when there is a fall in price, and contraction in demand take place when there is a rise in price. Okay, I hope this is clear. Keeping up to this in this video. Thank you.